classmates. Today I will talk a little bit about React.js. React is a JavaScript library that allows us create very efficient apps because it renders all the content in a very interesting way that we will see in the next content. And to start with this video, we will talk a little bit about the characteristics of React. React is declarative. It makes easier to create interactive UIs that we can use states to manage the content that our app is showing, and React just updates the values or state of each component when it's needed. Also, React makes our code easier to debug. Also, React is component based. We can build encapsulated components that manage our states, and also we can make complex UIs. So React, as is a library based on JavaScript, we can easily use it along with other code, because we don't need to create from zero our apps if we want to implement React. So also we can pass information as props in our components to make operations in our logic from our modules, and we can, as I told you before, we can manage the state of the components to give them some behavior in our interface. So as I was talking about before, it's easy to implement with our current code or current apps, because we don't need to rewrite all our code to implement our new features using this library. Also, we can create mobile apps using React Native. We don't need to make all our pages with React. We can use it in some places where we want. So it's the flexibility of React to be implemented in an existing project. Here is a little explanation about how React can manage the state and the components in our DOM. In the real DOM, we have a component tree that will be updated when we make some change. So what we can do with React is that it will just update the needed modules or the needed components, and it will save a lot of use of data or also the usability and the performance of our code. So in this example, if we make some change in this element or component, if this other component needs some information from here, it will just update from here, from this node, to the other components that will depend on this information or in this model or node. So in the case of many of our current code, without using libraries like this, some change made here will make changes in all the DOM. So it will make our app a little bit slow and will reduce our performance. So what we use to create our apps with React are components. The way to create a component is to create a class. We give it a name, and we use this keyword extend React component. Then we create this function, or we call this function, and we pass it a return with the element that we need to use. So in this case, we are using a div, and we are passing some props or properties. In this case, a name. So if we use this component in our app, it will display a message with hello and the value of this property. We have two ways to use React. The first one is creating a project with this command in our terminal: npx create React app and the name of our app. In this case, they are using my app, but we can give it the name that we want. Then we need to go to that directory, and we need to use this new command, npm start. So when we use this command, it will create all the files that we need to keep running this app with React. And the other way is using just some links to the libraries that are on the cloud. So we are gonna make two examples, one with these links and the other one with the command npx and the npm. So the first one is using the links provided by the official website of React. So we need to copy these sources to our scripts, and we need to create a file with this name to keep it running. So in this case, I already have the code for the like button, and we have it running here. So what this code does the state will change to true. When we initialize this button, it has a value of false. So it shows the value. Well, it doesn't show anything, just this button that we create if the state is false. So if we click the button, the state changes to true, and if this value is true, it will return a value of you liked this. And if this condition is not true, as in this case, it will return the button. So we will try this code. If we click the like button, it will show the message here, like this. Also, we can create more properties to this, like name and a value of empty, and our button will have that value. Of my name. So we need to add this value to our returned value. In this case, it will be this state dot name. So we are using JavaScript, and if we click the button, it will say the name we passed to the properties of the button and the message. So this is the example using just these sources from the cloud. Also, we have another example with using these commands. We need to go to the terminal and use this command, create React app and the name that we give. So this is a command that we need to use to create the project. I already have created it, so we will delete this content. And these are all the files that this command will create, and we can edit these files to give them some functionalities. So I will close these other things, and we will start with this code that is created by the command that I mentioned before. Also, we will have an index CSS that has all the CSS for the project, and we have the index.js. So the index.js will run all the modules or the components that we put in the app component. So as React is a component-based library, we will be working with this tag or this component. So each component that we use in React need to have a file with the same name but with .js. It is for an easier handling of our code. So here I already created a new component that I have copied from the React site. We have here we have this component here, and we need to use this command, import React from React. It's very important to use it because without it, it will not run. Also, we need to export default this class. So when we do this, we can use the component in other part. So we are gonna start working with it. So right now our code is the default interface, and if we want to use this name form, we need to make some changes. So the first thing that we need to do is to import this module that contains our component. So we will give it the name of name form, and we need to import from nameform.js. So when we import it, we can use the component. In this case, the name is nameform, and this is the way to use. So if we save, it will show the input and the button. But I forgot to explain a very important detail. When we have created our project, as in this case React example, we need to run this command, but we need to be in the file that we created. So in this case, the name of the project is React example. So with the command cd in our terminal and the name of the file, we will go to the React sample file, and here we can start this project. So if we run this command, it will open this localhost 3000 in this case, and it will show this interface. So I forgot to explain that, but it's running, and we have used this component, and it just shows an input. And if we give it some value like my name, it will show a message of a name was submit and my name. So we can make some changes to this. First, we will improve the style. Input. Padding, we will give it 8 px, and margin 10 px. get the information that we put in this input. So we need to call this element that has the value or the ID get, and we use JavaScript, and we will change it a little bit. It will be this state value. So this code will give the value of the input to the get element that we have here, and it will put there the value of the target. So it will update in real time the content that we put here. So in this way we can use the components of React, and we can create very efficient apps. So thank you for your attention.